So the amazing Nia over at This Brown Girl Reads tagged me in an original tag that she made. I am so fucking stoked because you all know how much I love tags, and I was just talking a couple of days ago that I've not been tagged in anything new, and so I decided to make a new tag, which that video will drop soon, don't worry. But Nia tagged me stuff and I'm like, oh my god, I absolutely have to do this tag because it's so fucking cool. It's the page to screen adaptation, and it's all about adaptations, you know, the ones we love, the ones we hate, etc, etc. And I'm just like, oh my god, I absolutely want to do this tag, and so here is the video. So I have my questions on here, and I'm just going to read out the questions and do the answers. Of course, I'm going to tag others. I'm going to leave the people I'm tagging down in the description, but I'm also going to tag you all on Twitter. So please do it. And if it is that I did not tag you, but you want to do this tag because the questions are so amazing, you can definitely do it. Just consider this me tagging you. So we'll start with the very first question, which says, what page to screen made you cry in reaction to both formats? And for me, I think the book that works for me is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I read the book and I cried, and then I watched the movie like a couple of months after when it was released in cinemas, and I also cried. I was angry, I was happy, and I also cried. I think that was a book that made me feel a whole gamut of emotion, and the movie was able to capture parts of that, but I definitely cried in the movie as well. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen are you looking forward this year? And I don't know if it's going to be produced this year, but I hope it is because I really want to watch it, and that is Neil Gaiman's Sandman. It has been in production with Netflix for quite a while. We don't yet know who exactly has been casted as what, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that, because it's still the start of the year, there's still enough time for them to, you know, I don't know, cast and do everything. I am really excited for this. Sandman is one of my absolute favorite comics of all time, and the minute I heard that Netflix was going to be doing an adaptation, I was so happy because they have the budget, and I know that Neil Gaiman is going to oversee it. I don't think he's going to be a showrunner, because he admitted that he's not going to do any other show running after I was done with Good Omens, but I know he's going to be involved in the process, and I just cannot wait. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen series were you happy to see discontinued? I don't know, American Gods. Okay, I know it has not yet been discontinued, but it's only a matter of time. And if you're like, oh my god, Noria, what on earth? You have probably not been on Twitter. A lot of things has been going on, and I'm counting down the days until they cancel that show. I think some people have brought it up on themselves. Am I heartbroken because it's one of my favorite Neil Gaiman books? Yes, I wanted better of it, but it's just been an absolute goddamn mess, and Orlando deserves so much better. I'm just offended. I'm just so offended. Okay, but in all seriousness though, I would say it's a toss-up between Game of Thrones season 8, because those two dumbass showrunners do not understand any of the characters, do not understand what the fuck they are doing. And after it was that we discovered that they just auditioned for the role, they just, I don't know, interviewed for the role with zero experience and have been pretty much winging it, then I'm not surprised. Because think about it, ever since George R. R. Martin actually left that production, it has been on a steady decline. So it's a toss-up between Game of Thrones, because thank god last season 8 was a disaster. I can't imagine if we had to suffer through another season. So Game of Thrones or House of Cards. And I know you're probably like, House of Cards? Yes, House of Cards, for those that don't know, is actually based off of a book of the same name, House of Cards by Michael Dobbs. But after that whole mess with Kevin Spacey, I was just ready for the show to be done. I did like the fact that, you know, they had Claire take center stage for the final season, but I was just done. So the next question says, what series would you like to see as a page to screen? And I think the answer for me has to absolutely be the Folk of the Hair series by Oli Black. You all know how much I love that series, and it's fantastical, it's fae, it's magical. I would love to see Elf Aim on screen. I sincerely hope that we get the chance to do so one day, and that whoever is actually producing it has the money and the funds to make it a reality. So yeah, Folk of the Air series by Oli Black. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen is in production that you're excited about? That has to be Shadow and Bone. I already talked during my reaction to the cast that I wanted a fat Nina. I still want a fat Nina, and I wanted a darker Jesper. I'm not going to belabor the point, but other than those two, I'm really excited about Shadow and Bone. Not because I want to see the Shadow and Bone crew, except for maybe Jenya and Alina. See Alina kicking ass, not the part where she's hopelessly in love with Mal. but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Six of Crows crew. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so Shadow and Bone, the Shadow and Bone Netflix adaptation of the Grishaverse by Lee Bardugo. Next question says, what page to screen do you appreciate as two separate entities? And for that, I am definitely going to go with To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I love the books just as they are, and I love the movies just as they are. So definitely those are two separate entities, and I love them for their own merit. Okay, so the next question says, what hyped page to screen did you not vibe with? To be honest, Boys Over Flowers. Yes, the manga was silly and stupid, but it was still enjoyable. The Korean adaptation was a cringe fest. I think it has to do with a lot of the acting. Uye-sun's acting, I wasn't a fan. Everything was just so cringy. I actually did prefer the Japanese adaptation as Anayuridango much better. God, definitely, and it was so hyped. Like, everybody, if you ever got into K-drama, I'm certain at some point in time you've come into contact with Boys Over Flowers. It's that hyped, and I just could not vibe with it. I just could not. So the next question says, what was the best page to screen you ever watched? And I definitely think it has to be Crazy Rich Asians, because I have heard about the books. I've not read the books yet. I plan to read it soon, but I've heard about the books, and I've heard that a lot of things are the writer seems to waste a lot of time, but in the movie everything was cut so concisely, and it was so well done and so well told, and such a great adaptation. I think that a lot of writers and a lot of showrunners and a lot of producers, especially when they're adapting from page to screen, should totally take a page out of that, because it was fantastic. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen did you watch and the ending was better on the screen? I think for me it's probably the Pride and Prejudice, the 1994 BBC series that starred Colin Firth, just because in that, at that ending of that mini series, we got a wedding, we got a double wedding, and we got a kiss, and we didn't get that in the books. Like, you all know how much I love Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, but we did not get that in the books. And seeing that in the mini series, my heart just swooned. I think, like, yeah, definitely like that ending. So the next question says, what did you enjoyably watch on the screen and you like to read it on page? I think for me it's probably W2 Worlds, which is this K-drama that was all about this artist that was creating this character, that was drawing this manga, and then his art gained consciousness and started rebelling. And it is such a great story and such an interesting concept. I would love to see that as a graphic novel, as a comic book. Like, just imagine how amazing that would be. I want a comic book about a comic. Like, the inception level of that would just be mind-blowingly good. But yes, definitely W2 World, which stars the love of my life, Hyun Suk. If you have not watched it, you should totally check it out. One of my favorite K-dramas. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen have you neither watched nor read because you can't choose which to do first? And for me, it is totally You by Caroline Kepnes. I have not read the book. I have not watched the Netflix adaptation. I keep shuffling back and forth, and I see so many spoilers, and people are talking about it on Twitter, and I'm just like, do I read the books first? Do I watch the movie first? Let me know down in the comments down below what you think I should do, because I have not watched or read it, because I am still debating exactly in what order I want to actually consume the work. Okay, so the next question says, what page to screen can you happily live without? And it is undoubtedly the Netflix adaptation of Death Note. They murdered that fucking ass manga. They murdered that anime. See, oh god, I love Death Note. I love the manga. I love the anime. It's held a special place in my heart for the last 13 years since I first discovered it. So seeing that Netflix adaptation, seeing that trash fire garbage, I'm just like, what the actual fuck? Yagami Laito and Elle deserve better. I can just imagine Yagami like writing whoever made that monstrosity into the book. Like, it is totally something he would do, and I would not fault him for that, because that adaptation was a travesty, an absolute travesty. I could have lived without that. Okay, so what have you recently read that you like to see on screen? That is the last question. And for me, I just finished The Diviners by Libba Bray, and I just think that being able to see 1920s New York, as in mixed in with the supernatural, mixed with some horror elements, it would translate so well on screen. I would love to see it as a TV show, like a mini series, maybe like 8 episodes in total. It would be so good, because of course I want each episode to deal with each of the offerings, and like I want the adaptation. I want to see it on screen. It will be so good. But yeah, that is the page to screen adaptation tag. Thank you so much, Nia, for tagging me. I had so much fun. I had such a blast picking the books, and just thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. If you like this video, if you like this tag, I am going to leave Mia's original tag video down in the description bar below. Go check it out. Go do your own responses. If you like it, please do it. So much fun. But that is this video. If you liked it, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to, and if you do decide to subscribe, please click on that notification bell so you can know the minute I have a new video go up. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.